So here's the coil I was using before that I just kind of grabbed. So you can see that wasn't a good idea. This plastic, just a little too thin. It really feels pretty sturdy. I mean, it's not like I can just squeeze it in real easily. So this thing got real hot. I didn't even notice it doing that. Yeah, not gonna make that mistake again. Just used cardboard former. Cardboard's not gonna melt and warp. This was 26 AWG. I believe that's 32. That little 40 gauge can hold up fine on a chapstick container and spit out, you know, pretty decent little bush. Then I'm pretty sure that's gonna be all right. Shorten my leads as much as possible. Try to clean that up just a slight bit. Got 3 nanofarad shunt capacitance now for this coil. Feedback is actually just grounded out right now. So again, this is just fixed frequency the way I'm running this, and I've got the audio jack hooked up. So I'm gonna cut it on. I've got it tuned for 6 volts right now. So you can see it's only about 6 volts on about 10 watts or so. It's a gate drive. But you see, still get a little plasma bush there. So that's cool. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start playing audio just to see how low of a voltage I can bring it to actually see if I can hear it. I mean, you can just barely hear it. But let's see, let's keep going up. Let's do 12. Pause it so you can see when I pause the music, it stops shifting that frequency around. So just again, this is similar to my other setup. Hard switching a little bit right there. It almost sounds like the sort of the best audio. Or if I shift it back over to closer to class E, then it also sounds pretty good, but it just sounds like the filter is a little different. So anyway, I'm just going to stop that. I have to get the filtering right to get the audio to sound the best, but again, you can hear it all the way down to like 5, 6 volts. It doesn't sound very loud. But yeah, this FET right here works pretty good as well. I can put it all the way down at 4 volts and still maintains that little streamer there. Tune it around a little bit, which in itself is always kind of cool to look at, because you know you see the little tail coming off there. The camera doesn't capture it very well at all, but to me it looks like a very precise thin little string of a tail that comes off the top of that little plasma corona. It's just pretty cool how that works. But yeah, 4 freaking volts. Turn down to 3 volts. I still see it up and just went out. So when I turn to 3 volts, that's when the slightest changes will detune it. Just sort of continue running it. I'm gonna put it at about 35 volts, right? So again, that little ringing picks up. I'll tune it a little better here. That's about where I probably would want to tune it. So again, 2.8 megahertz. The thing, this is running at the same frequency as my other plasma speaker setup, which I really like. You know, I get a decent bush out of that. It's actually quite a bit bigger, but up at about twice the wattage. And that thing runs extremely cool on the 260. It sounds really good to me for what it is. So it's probably the coil I'm going to stick with to have like another version of that. I'm just going to put it at 40 volts. Alright, so this is where I was at before, where I did something stupid and killed my coil by moving my arm too close. So you see there's a point with that ringing. If I move my hand too close, it's hard to tell. I don't want to do it too much, but it starts to pick up that ringing when it gets out of tune. So that's about 130 watts. You see that? I'd say this is safe operating region for this, you know, but I don't really want to get it too out of whack. Still pull arcs, pull about a 65 watt arc. The ringing doesn't get out of control. So, I mean, not bad. So again, on my other setup, I can push about twice the wattage really easily. I don't have all this ringing, and you know, this I use the same little tip right there to get red hot. So it's outputting more power, and again, it sounds better. So, wow, this actually tunes really good. You can use that FET right there, and it's still just barely warm. But again, it's just the layout. You need a legit PCB layout, and I think doing that and keeping in mind of the traces, you know, not really worrying about all this extra crap, trying to finely tune a gate source, capacitor, and resistor, and all that. Keep the layout clean and give it the right voltage. And I'm pretty sure that ringing is not going to be there like that, to where you can really crank that up and push a whole lot of power.